Hello, my name is Rossella and today I'm going to do the C paper included in this book published by the ABRSM in 2021. If you haven't done it yet, click on the red button there and subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Theory Virtuoso, and Instagram, Theory Virtuoso. And don't forget that you can always visit my website, theoryvirtuoso.com, where you can find all the videos that I publish. There are music theory videos, tutorials on discovering music theory published by ABRSM, musical quizzes, past and sample exam papers by ABRSM, and piano tutorials to improve your piano performance too. Thank you for watching. Bye! As usual, the first chapter of the new sample exam paper starts with rhythm. And in the first question, we are asked to circle the right time signatures of the given bars. As ever, I always recommend you to look at the bars from above and see what catches your attention. For example, here I see two groups of things. Let's have a look at the options that we have: 5/8, 6/8, and 6/16. Now, 5 or 6/8 mean that in a bar we have 5 quavers or 6 quavers. In 6/16 we have 6 semiquavers. Now, by looking at this, look at here, this is 1 quaver, so 2 semiquavers, 2 semiquavers, 2 semiquavers, 1 semiquaver. That's already overtaking 6, because just with half of the bar we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can already exclude this. So our final question is, how many quavers do we have in this bar? 5 or 6? Now we count. Let's start from the easier ones. So we have 1, 2. For these ones, okay, for the dotted rhythms, I always recommend you to pair up the dot with the half that comes after it. So 1 semiquaver and another semiquaver here. That makes it another quaver. Then we have these two, another quaver. This is another quaver, and we have 2 dots plus a demi-semiquaver. So now 1 dot is 1 semiquaver because it's half of this, of a quaver. And the second dot is half of the half, or half of the other dot. So it's a demi-semiquaver that is paired up with the second demi-semiquaver. So we have 2 semiquavers in the end, which is a quaver. Okay, sorted. So now how many do we have? 6. And in fact, this is 6/8. Now let's go back to what I said at the very start of this question. I said, let's look at from above. I see 2 groups of things. And isn't 6/8 2 groups of 3 things, which are quavers? Yes. So always, always, always look from above. Number 2, I see again 2 groups of things. And I already know that a quintuplet is equal to 4 of the same kind. So this is 1/4, because it's 4 semiquavers equals 1 crotchet. In the options we have 3/8 to 2/4 or 3/4. Let's go to 3/8. We've already said that this is a crotchet, which is 2 quavers. Now, to have the third quaver is already here, we already overtake the allowance. So we can exclude 3/8. And now the final question is, do we have 2 or 3 crotchets in this bar? 1 is here, and we have 1 quaver, 1 semiquaver plus another semiquaver. So we have 2 quavers equals 1 crotchet. So each of these groups is a crotchet. So how many? 2. Next one. Okay, here we have two groups of things too. Let's have a look at the options. 5/4, 2 halves, this is. So 2 minims, or 6/4. Let's answer the question. How many crotchets do we have? 5. 4 in the meaning of 2 minims, or 6. 4, 5 or 6. Let's count. We have 2 here. And here we have 3, because this is a duplet, it means 2 in the space of 3. So we have 5, and the answer is 5/4. Done. Does it make sense? Please let me know. Again, I always recommend you to think musically. This is the best thing you can do. Because in the end, we learn theory to improve our playing, to understand more, deeper, better, and to enjoy what we do. Because if we understand it, we enjoy it. I hope this makes sense. Let's move on to question 2. In this question, we have a bar written in compound time, and we need to tick the box that shows this same bar correctly rewritten in simple time. Now 9/4 is not even a simple time, so we can exclude this one. 9/4 is 9 crotchets in a bar divided in 3 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And in fact, this is not, it doesn't really make sense because we have one crotchet, and another crotchet, so that doesn't really make sense. They want to tease us that 9/8 in simple time becomes 9/4, but it isn't. 9/8, okay, 9/8 means 9 quavers, okay, grouped in 3. Okay, now this means that we have 3 movements with 3 subdivisions. The 3 movements stay, but become those of 2 subdivisions. And the only time signature that gives us that is 3 movements of crotchets. So we can exclude 9/4. Now, what do we see here? Let me just rub this out because we need to write the figure of the new bar. 3 crotchets which fit perfectly in compound time. Actually, I might write it here just because it's useful to see. 3 crotchets fit perfectly in a compound time, but not in simple time, because we have 2 subdivisions. So we have an extra quaver to fit in the same movement. So what do? We add a triplet sign, because the triplet means that 3 people can go to the fair with 2 tickets. A duplet is necessary in compound time because we have 3 spaces to cover and we only have 2 quavers. So we would be missing 1 quaver if we wouldn't use a duplet sign. Now I don't know why I wrote over it. So we need a duplet sign to cover this space of 3 with 2 things. In other words, we say, please extend a tiny bit more the value of a quaver, but they couldn't put a dot because the dot would be too much and no dot would be too little. I hope this makes sense. And we would have simply 2 quavers. So we can actually do this. We can cross this out. And we have 3 quavers here because this equals to 3 quavers. So the space of 3 quavers, what happens? The same as here. a triplet. So same thing, but with a triplet sign on the top. Now we only need to see where we have this figure. Triplet, duplet, triplet. Triplet, duplet, triplet. Triplet, duplet, not triplet. So the right answer is this. Sorted. Excellent. That was quick. Now a bit of thinking here, but I was trying to tell you all the passages, so next time you can do the same thinking yourself with no help from me. Let's move on to exercise 3. This question asks us to complete the sentences by adding a number. Let's have a look. In 9/16 there are a certain number of dotted quaver beats in a bar. All right. 9/16 means 9 semiquavers grouped in 3. So we have 3 groups of semiquavers. Each group equals to a dotted quaver. So how many do we have? 3. And in fact, this is a triple compound time. Triple, because we have 3 movements. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I hope this makes sense. Let me know if you don't understand when I talk about subdivisions. It means that you can also go and watch my previous videos where I talk about these things. To revise, if you have like big issues on any of these questions, you can always go and watch my videos on other grades. For example, in grade 3, there are 3 chapters, I think 3, yes, dedicated to time signatures and the difference between compound and simple. So if you just watch them without buying the book or anything, you just watch them and see what I mean with subdivisions. That will really help, because it really helps what you're playing, to be honest. Every movement is a movement of a conductor. The conductor moves accordingly to the time signature. So you can say the time signature of a piece by watching a conductor conducting an orchestra. Now, every movement has 2 subdivisions, so it's made of 2 halves, or 3 subdivisions, so it's made up of 3 pieces of things. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we count, the beating is always like 1, 2, but if it's a compound time, we have 3 things. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If it's a simple time, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I hope this makes sense, but follow my advice, go and watch these videos of any other grades. I'm publishing all the chapters of Discovering Music Theories or grades, and I hope that this helps you understand more and deeper what we do in grade 5. A double dotted minim is equal to a certain number of demisemiquavers. Okay. This seems difficult, but we have 2 systems. First of all, the demisemiquaver is 1/30 seconds. That means that we have 32 of them makes a whole, so makes a semibreve. A double dotted minim is nearly a semibreve. So you can count it that way, or you can consider that the double dotted minim is a minim plus a crotchet plus a quaver. We need 8 demisemiquavers to form a crotchet. 8. So we need 4 for a quaver, so we need 16 for a minim. Now, why did I say 8 here? Because the crotchet is 1/4 so the fourth part of a semibreve. So if you divide 32 by 4, you find this 8. And this means that 8 is the fourth part of 32, which means that the quaver, the crotchet, is the fourth part of a semibreve. If you represent the semibreve with this number 32, I think you get to the right point. Yeah, it's a bit of maths here, a bit of, yeah. So 8 of them form a crotchet, therefore half of them would form a quaver, and double the amount would make a minim. Now if you do a lovely addition, what do we find? 28. So 28. Sorted. Now this is my favorite system because it's really quick once you visualize what is happening with a minim. The double dot adds its half plus the half of its half. Once that is done, equivalences and addition done. I hope this is clear. Let me know if you like this way of doing it. I really like maths, so for me it's quite like straightforward or something natural that I do. But there are other methods. For example, a double dotted minim is a semibreve missing another quaver. So the semibreve minus double dotted minim equals a quaver. So you do 32 minus 4. And you find 28 anyway. So lots of ways, but the most laborious is what I see in the exam papers sometimes. Everyone calculating each quaver in a minim, each quaver in a crotchet and so forth, and then adding them. The more steps you do, the more likely you are of making mistakes. So I would recommend you to do as little as possible. So just what you need to do. Exercise 4. In exercise 4, we need to tick the box that shows the bar that is grouped correctly. We are in 6/16, which means that we have 6 semiquavers grouped in 3 because this is a compound time. So again, 2 movements of the conductor, 1, 2, with 3 subdivisions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and each subdivision is a semiquaver. Okay, where do we see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Here they are grouped in 2, so not really, no thank you. Here they are all grouped together, and as you can see, it's quite difficult to read. It could be that they are grouped all together, but this happens when we have 3 on the top. So 3/8 for instance, 3/16. Why? Because it's not too long. This is a little bit confusing. It really makes us a bit confused, but this is the best because we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is the right answer. Sorted. Question 5. Here we need to be the teacher of an imaginary student, as I always say, that has given us this paper where there are rests added. And we need to say whether they are correct or incorrect. Now let's have a look. First, the time signature. Without this, we don't go anywhere. 12/8, that means 12 quavers grouped in 3. So 4 groups of 3 quavers. We need to see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here, let's have a look. This is correct. Okay, 1 and. But this isn't. We can't have 1 and then 2 and 3 joined together as a rest. We can have this, but not the other way around. So this is incorrect. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Correct. Why can't we do this? Dotted minim, rest, because we need to see the half of the bar. So we must have one group here, one group here. 2 and 3 can't be merged. Last one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Correct. Now here they didn't do this. Look. Oh, sorry guys. They didn't do this. So merging these two quaver rests together, because this is incorrect. This is the only correct version. Let me rub it out. Sorted. Let's turn the page and let's move on to the second section relating to pitch. In this first question, we need to tick the box that shows the correct name for this note. And we are in tenor clef. Now the tenor clef, if you don't know this, please go and watch my videos relating to clefs. The link is in the description below or in the card up here. In these videos, I say everything you need to know about clefs from grade 1 to 5 and above. So please go and watch it, even as a revision. The videos I try to make them fairly fun and straightforward. So they should be very useful, even for just as a revision. Anyway, I say in these videos that tenor clef is the treble clef minus 1. So this is in treble clef would be C, Do, minus 1 equals B. Now, if you want to double check, this is middle C, so you count from this line. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, C, B. In the second question, we need to find the enharmonic equivalent of this note, which is A double flat. Now, the enharmonic equivalent is a note that has the same sound but a different name. Now, how do I go? I think this is correct. Okay, La double flat is 1 flat, 2 flats, is this note here. Now this note could be Sol, G, or Fa double sharp. What do we have here? Sol sharp, no. Fa double sharp, yes. Fa sharp, no. So Fa double sharp. I think with the keyboard it's easier because you can visualize what we're talking about. Anyway, I hope that it is useful. Let's move on to exercise 3. In this question, we are given a bar written for trumpet in B, and we need to tick or cross the boxes to show that the items in the second example are correctly rewritten a major second up. So plus 1 tone, basically. Plus 1 tone. And we need to include the key signature. Now, the key signature has 3 flats and the penultimate tells us the key. And the key is, oh sorry, Mi flat major, well. E flat major. Or C minor is the same because the relative minor shares with its major the key signature. Plus 1 tone, means, I need a keyboard here. Yeah. Very long. Okay, E flat plus one tone equals F. So this should be written in F major, and F major has one flat, only one flat. So here we have sharp. Oh dear, incorrect. Re becomes mi, yes. Sol, G, becomes, so this is G, A. Oh, sorry, I didn't take it. So G becomes A, not B. Incorrect. Do becomes Re, yes. And La natural, why natural? Because it's flat here. So La natural should become B natural. And this is it. Perfect. So we have 3 corrects and 2 incorrects. I hope this is the same of what you've done too. If not, let me know, get in touch, and you know, guys, that I love when you get in touch. I always reply. Thank you. Question 4. In this question, we are asked to observe the bars and circle true or false for each of the 3 statements. To answer this question, you need the memorime that I've created in one of my videos relating to clefs that I talked about. The link is in the description below. Again, watch it, watch it, watch it. It is useful. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? In bass clef, middle C is here. So this note is just above middle C. Let me just do it somewhere where it's clearer. In treble clef, middle C is down here, so this note is an octave higher than this. B is written an octave higher than A. You see the distance that has with middle C. In the alto clef, middle C is here, so this is an octave higher than A, but it's the same as B. So B and C are the same. A is an octave lower than B and C. Now we've answered all the questions, to be honest. A and B are at the same pitch. No, because it's an octave lower, this one. False. C is 1 octave higher than B. No, we said that this is the same because look, it's more than an octave above middle C. So this is false. A is an octave lower than C. Yes. And B. But it's irrelevant at the moment. Done. So as you can see, after a little bit of observation and after identifying where middle C is in each of the examples, we've basically answered all the questions. We also have a very clear picture of the situation. I hope this satisfies you. Let's move on to the 3rd section of this exam relating to keys and scale. This section is very long and very important. In these first 2 questions, we need to tick the box that shows the correct key signature of G flat major and D sharp minor, choosing it from the given options. To answer this one again, please go and watch my videos relating to key signatures, where I say everything you need to know about key signatures and how to be always right in your answers. The link is in the description below or in the card up here. Trust me, they are very, very useful. They tell you something that no book will tell you, because I found it myself. Anyway, so the key signature of G flat major means that G flat is the penultimate flat. So now if we say them in order, we will find the number of flats. Si, mi, la, re, sol, do, 6. And in fact, we have 6 flats pretty much everywhere. Now, to find the right answer, we need to see the shapes. The key signatures with flats have always this shape, zigzagging, descending. Where do we have this? Not here, not here. It could be here, but look at this. Mistake. So the only possible answer is this. Si, mi, la, re, sol, do. Sorted. Zigzagging. Done in a second, guys. Second key signature is with sharps. D sharp minor is the relative minor of +3 semitones, F sharp and F sharp. -1 semitone is E sharp. E sharp is the last sharp in our key signature. I'll go into this a bit deeper, but please watch my videos again. Fa, do, sol, re, la, mi. E is the final sharp in our key signature. And we have 6 sharps everywhere, so they are all possibly correct. The key signatures with sharps is this. 3 curves, of which the second one is longer. Or in the case of the tenor clef, we have a sort of zigzagging ascending shape. Now let's have a look at the tenor clef. We don't see this. This upper part is missing, so no. Here, look, we have the waves. This one is longer, but then it's too long, because this one here should have been up here. We're missing this part. This one has a longer curve here, not matching with this. So we have excluded these 3, and the last option is this, the alto clef. And in fact, we have this, look at this shape. It matches with this. Can you believe that we haven't even checked their symbols? We've answered this question just looking at their shapes. Isn't it amazing? Let me know, leave a comment. I really like to hear from you guys, so please get in touch. Thank you. Question 3. Okay, question 3 is interesting because it's a bit laborious, but not really if you follow my thinking. First of all, we need the order of sharps and flats that I say in my videos. That is one of the most important things that one should know when learning music. Sharps: fa, do, sol, re, la, mi, si. Fun coloring gigantic drawings after eating breakfast. Flats: the sharps in reverse: si, mi, la, re, sol, do, fa. Big elephants ate dinosaurs, goat, cheese and figs. Now if you want, you can create your own funny sentence and send it over to me because I'm very curious about it. Anyway, one of my followers sent it and it was really fun to know it. Okay, now what do? We have a melody and we need to find the key without the key signature. So we need to observe it and see what we find out. Treble clef, so A flat. La sharp, sorry, A sharp. Sol sharp. Fa double sharp. Sol sharp. Re sharp. We have do sharp missing here because if there are the sharps afterwards, it means that this is included, but we have no C's here. So of course we have this sharp, okay? It's not included. Fa is double sharp. When does that happen? That fa is double sharpened? When this is the leading note. Now, fa double sharp is the leading note of, one semitone above, G sharp minor. And here it is. Let's exclude the other options. C sharp minor, and G sharp minor is the relative minor of B, so 3 semitones above, B major. B major has 5 sharps, and in fact here they are, because B minus 1 semitone is A sharp, so A sharp is the last sharp of our key signature, so they match. Why can't it be C sharp minor? Because the leading note of C sharp would be B sharp, and we have 3 B's here, but they are not sharp. So B major, it can't be because, okay, this is the relative major of G sharp, so it would have the same key signature, but it doesn't have fa double sharp. Actually, fa sharp is the dominant, so it's quite important. E major has 4 sharps only, because E minus 1 semitone is D, which means that D is our last sharp in the key signature, so it just has 4 sharps. This A sharp is not justified. Sorted? Perfect. Let's carry on with the same method. We have D flat, Mi flat, B flat, La flat, La flat, Mi flat, B flat. Okay, we have 4 flats and no sharps. It means that we don't have a leading note. It means that we are in a major key. And with 4 flats, we just take the penultimate A flat, and this is the major key, A flat major. It can't be D flat because D flat would have G flat as well. And this G is not flat. G minor, it can't be because G minor is the relative minor of B flat, and B flat has 2 flats only. So A and D wouldn't be possible. And E flat major has 3 flats. So we can't justify the presence of D flat in this piece. Okay. Why am I excluding the right answers? Because guys, mistakes happen to anyone, and without a keyboard, without being able to play it, we might get confused, or we might just skip something and we answer incorrectly. But to be absolutely sure, I would just go through the other options and exclude them. Does it make sense? I hope so. The last example has flats, so let's delete, let's rub them out. Okay, let's do that again. Bass clef, so +2, treble clef +2 if you don't know how to read it. B flat, La flat, Mi flat, La flat. We have 3 flats here, and I don't see a sharp or a raised note that would be the leading note. But look at here, this is flat and this is not. So B is not always flat. Look at here, the B is not always flat. And if you observe here, this is a scale, and the descending melodic scale has all the flats included in the key signature. The key signature has 3 flats, and here they are. So this B must be the leading note of what? C minor. When the melody goes up, the leading note must be clearly indicated. So it has to be 1 semitone below the tonic. This is the tonic, leading note. On the way down, we can use the natural scale, but on the way up is essential. This is why the melodic scale must be written in a way on the way up, in another way on the way down. The melodic scale is used to form melodies. Let's exclude the other ones. B flat minor is the relative minor of D flat. D flat has lots of flats. But here, D and G are not flat. So, no. B flat major has just 2 flats without A. And F major has just 1 flat. So, that's the answer. Happy? Exercise 4. In this question, we need to tick one box that shows the correct note that we need to form a scale of F sharp major. Now, F sharp major has lots of sharps, and they are Fa, Do, Sol, Re, La, Mi, Si. Now, let's see how many they are in F sharp major. F sharp minus 1 semitone is E sharp, and here it is. This is the last sharp in our key signature, and we have 6. So all of them are sharp. Now, this is Fa sharp, So sharp, La. Is it sharp? Yes, it is. Here it is. Oh, sorry. Why did I write it here? So La sharp. Si, Do, Re, Mi, E. Is it sharp? Yes, of course it is. It's included in our key signature. So E sharp. And this is done. This is so quick when you have the sharp. Basically, by writing it here, we create a key signature, and it's much easier, I believe. Can you let me know if it's easier for you too? Thank you very much. Let's turn the page. Another laborious question. The answers to circle the clef, they would make these scales minor scales. Now, this is important because sometimes, depending on the clef, we could have a minor or major scale, and we need to select only the one that makes it minor. This doesn't happen very often, but we need to be mindful of that. Okay, what's the technique here? Well, guys, we need to go through each of them and see which one to exclude, which ones we can exclude, and then we find the right answer. There's no shortcut here, I'm afraid. If in treble clef, this would be A. So A minor is the relative minor of C major, and it has no sharps, no flats. Now we have one sharp here, but this is the leading note. In a harmonic scale, we would have the leading note clearly indicated and an augmented second between the 6th and 7th degrees. And this is what we have here. Fa, so sharp, is an augmented second. So this is the harmonic descending A minor scale. The answer is the treble clef, but let's exclude the other ones, as I said before. In bass clef, this would be treble clef plus 2. So this will be C. C minor is the relative minor of plus 3 semitones. E flat, and it has flats. There's no flat here, so no. In the alto clef, this A, this La would be read B. B minor is the relative minor of D major, plus 3 semitones, and D major has 2 sharps, and they are not here. So, no. And in the tenor clef, treble clef minus 1, this will be G. G minor is the relative minor of B flat, and it has flats, and we have none here. So the answer is the treble clef. Confirmed. Next one, we have lots of flats. Okay. In the treble clef, this will be C flat. Now C flat doesn't exist because C flat minor would be simply B minor, the enharmonic equivalent. Otherwise, to have C flat minor, we would have a supposed E double flat major scale, which of course doesn't exist. It exists as in D major scale, yes. So this is not correct. In bass clef, this would be E flat. Now, E flat minor is the relative minor of G flat, and G flat has Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol, Do, 6 flats. We have quite a few here. Let's see, we have, so Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol, Do, Fa. We should have like 6 flats, okay? So Mi, Fa is not flat. Sol, La, Si, flat. And Do and Re, Si and D should have been flat, but I think they've been raised to form a melodic ascending scale. So the answer is the bass clef, I think, because this is a E flat minor melodic ascending scale. So, but let's exclude the other ones. Treble clef plus 1 equals Re flat. Re flat minor, D flat minor doesn't exist. It exists in the enharmonic equivalent of C sharp. And minus 1 would be B flat. Now B flat minor is the relative minor of D flat, and D flat has only, let's say only, but there are quite a lot, 5 flats. So this is incorrect. The only correct answer is bass clef. Perfect. Last one. In treble clef, this would be Do, C, and C minor is the relative minor of E flat, and it has flats. So no. In bass clef plus 2, this would be Mi. E minor is the relative minor of G major, and G major has 1 sharp. Now it could be that these two are raised up to form a melodic ascending scale, but what about this? We can't justify this B sharp here. That doesn't make any sense. So no. In the alto clef, this is D minor, and D minor is the relative minor of F major, which has flats. So I'm afraid we have to exclude this one. So possibly this one is the correct one, but let's double check. Minus 1 is B minor. Now B minor is the relative minor of D major, which has 2 sharps, and here they are. Do, so Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, that's the other one. And then these two are raised for making a melodic scale. So this is a B minor melodic ascending scale in tenor clef. Here it is. And this is the final answer. A bit long, I know, but it's necessary. There's no other way in this case, guys. I'm trying to make things quicker and easy with as few steps as possible, but sometimes it's not possible. Let's move on. This question asks us to circle true or false and say if the chromatic scales have been correctly or incorrectly written. Now, with this, for this we need a long keyboard. Okie dokie. Now we just have to check. Bass clef, okay, so this is B. La sharp, La natural, So sharp, So natural, Fa sharp, Mi sharp, Mi natural, Re sharp, oh, Do double sharp, yes, it's this. Do sharp, Do natural, and B. Okay, this is a trick. we can't have 3 notes of the same name in a row. So false. This is incorrect. One of them, this should be written as either this is a B sharp or this is a D natural. So it's incorrect. Yeah. Shame, because it started very well. Anyway, alto clef is treble clef plus 1, so this is fa plus 1, sol. Okay, sol, la flat, la natural, si flat, B natural, do, do sharp, re, re sharp, mi, mi sharp, fa sharp, sol. I think this is correct. Let's do that again, just in case. Sol, la flat, la natural, B flat, B, do, do sharp, re, re sharp, mi, mi sharp, fa sharp, sol. Confirmed. This is correct. Yay! Are you happy? Last question of this 3rd chapter. Again, another question that asks us to circle true or false for each of these 3 statements. Okay, this is D sharp, okay, bass clef, re sharp. This is the supertonic of C sharp minor. Supertonic is the 2nd degree. So C sharp plus 1 tone, because the supertonic is 1 tone above, equals D sharp. Yes. C sharp minor has 4 sharps in the key signature because it's the relative minor of E major. And E major minus 1 semitone equals D. So the sharps are fa, do, sol, re, D sharp. So it is correct. Let's write the order. Fa, do, sol, re, la, mi, si. So these are the 4 sharps. So D is included. This note here that I don't know the name of. No, I'm joking. This is la, la, si, do, re, mi, E. So E is the subdominant, the 4th degree of B major. Okay, B major. So first of all, the note si, do, re, mi. Yes, it could be. It's the 4th degree. Now B major minus 1 semitone is A. So the last sharp of this signature, key signature, is A. Is E, mi included? Nope, because it comes just afterwards. So this is the 4th degree of B major. Yes. This do middle C in bass clef is the leading note of E flat minor. Ha, no. Because the leading note is 1 semitone down. So the leading note is the 7th degree and it's a semitone before the tonic. So it's D is the leading note. Re is the leading note of E flat minor. Haha, done. Are you happy? This is an important chapter, so make sure that you understand everything, and if not, please leave me a comment, email me, find me on Instagram, follow me, and like and share my videos and posts. Section 4. This 4th question relates to intervals, and this is also another big topic, so let's try to make it right. I have a technique that you can't find in any books, so follow me and listen carefully. In the first question, we need to tick the box that shows the correct name for each of the intervals. We have Mi flat and G sharp. That's the trick, so sharp. I need a keyboard. Maybe it's too long. Definitely it is. Never mind. E flat, G sharp, first the number. Mi, fa, sol. It is a third. We can exclude a second here. Now, is it major, augmented, or diminished? Now, a third is two tones. A major third is two tones. So, from E flat, 1 and 2. We have an extra semitone here. So, a major plus 1 semitone equals augmented. And this is the answer. Augmented third. So again, mi, 1 and 2. This is a major. From mi flat, this is a major. G would be the major third. But because we have one further semitone, G sharp, it's augmented. Now this question includes a trick. If you don't call this note sharp because you've read the key signature, you would answer this major third. So again, this proves that what I've been saying for ages, that you need to read the notes correctly to answer the questions correctly. Anyway, second example, C flat and sol. Okay, this is more than an octave, so it's a compound interval. Now, let's calculate the number first. So si, do, re, mi, fa, sol is a compound sixth. Now the sixth becomes, so it's a compound sixth, and we can exclude this one, or plus 7, it's a 13, if you want to find the simple name of it. So we can exclude the perfect 12. Now, is it major or minor? Okay. To answer this question with the sixth, I have a technique again, as I said, that you can't anywhere because I've created it. I found it and I've created it. We need to flip the interval over. Now, let's write sol here. We identify the type of interval and then we flip it over again, and then I'll tell you what to do. Sol si is a third. Sol la si. Okay, let's see what third is. It is 1.5. So a tone and a half is not a major third, but is minor. A minor third, if flipped over, becomes a major sixth. Now, to make it compound, it would be like either compound major 6 or major 13. And this is the answer. And I will do this again, although you can find it in all my videos of previous exam papers or in grade 4, the chapter in grade 5 and grade 4 relating to intervals. You can find also this technique. Okay, we flip the interval of the notes over, so G goes down, and we find a third, and we find out that this is a minor third. Now, a minor third, when flipped over again, becomes a major sixth, and is major, basically. The interval is major. I hope this is clear. Let me know if not. Bass clef, 2 flats, so this is re plus 2, okay, so this is do, re, mi, fa, so re plus 2 equals fa, no flat, and this is sol, no flat. Oh, this is a second, a lovely second. What type? Major, because it's one tone apart. The two notes are one tone apart, so major, here it is. A ninth doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they say ninth, but as a third can't be, because the third is fa la or mi sol. Okay, we need to really count the steps, including the notes. Fa sol is a second, mi fa sol is a third, fa sol la is a third. Okay, this is very, very important. And this is done. intense, but nothing compared to the next ones. Okay, question number 2. No, I was joking. They are not intense. They're just a game, aren't they? A keyboard, because in this question we need to circle the correct type of interval, but to identify the type we need to identify the number, so basically we have to do the whole thing. This keyboard is awful. I hope it's clear from the video. It looks really awful. It's dreadful. So sorry about it. I can't draw very well. Everybody knows it. Okay, this is a 4th. I can see it already, but let's count from B to mi. Si, mi. Si, do, re, mi. It is a 4th. A 4th can be perfect, diminished or augmented, not major or minor. Now let's see what kind of 4th. A perfect 4th is 2 tones and a half. Let's have a look how many we have. 1, 2 and a half. Ah, this is perfect. So again, from B to mi, 1, 2 and a half. Easy. Second example, 3 flats. This is Do and this is B natural, and it is a compound time, but never mind, we make it simple. Now this is a 7th, okay? Do, si is a 7th. What do we do with the 7th? We flip them over as we did in the exercise above for the 6th. And it appears now as a 2nd. Now si, do is what kind of 2nd it is? It is a minor 2nd, because a semitone is a minor 2nd. Now a minor 2nd, if flipped over again, becomes a major 7th. And this would be a compound major 7th. And by the way, the semitone, if we take this as a tonic, the semitone below, if flipped over, is a major 7th. So it is major. In fact, we are in C minor, and this is the leading note of C minor, and it is a major 2nd from the tonic, or a semitone below if you flip it over. Last one, Fa sharp and La double sharp. It is a compound interval, and to identify what interval it is, we just lower one note down or higher up, or bring it up of an octave. I just use this because, oh well, let's do Fa sharp here. Let's raise it up. It's not really neat. Okay, now Fa sharp La is a 3rd. Fa, Sol, La, okay? So first of all is a 3rd. And a 3rd can be major, minor, diminished, augmented, but not perfect. So Fa sharp is here, and let's see, the major 3rd is 2 tones apart, so 1 and 2. La sharp is a major 3rd, but because it's double sharp, is augmented because we add another semitone, so augmented. Let's do that again. Fa sharp, 1, 2 and a half. Now 2 and a half is the same distance of a 4th, but we can't call this a 4th because the notes are Fa and La. So Fa, Sol, La. If this were B, that would be a 4th, a perfect 4th. So a perfect 4th is equivalent to an augmented 3rd. But that doesn't matter now, only if you like maths. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to question 3. In this question, we need to write the notes to form the given intervals, and the notes should be higher than the given note. Now let's not forget this. Compound for perfect fifth. Okay, to get to compound perfect fifth, first we need to get to a perfect fifth. As usual, we need a keyboard. Let's write it here. Sol, sol, la, si, do, re. D is the note. I write it small because we need a compound one. So a perfect fifth is 3.5 tones away. So 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, so one more time. 1, 2, 3.5. This is D. Lovely. This means that this is already a perfect fifth. Now we need to make it compound, so we raise it up by an octave. And this is the final answer. Next one, Mi sharp. A minor second. First we need to write the name, the note, Fa. Now E sharp is here. A minor second is just one semitone higher. Fa sharp. Finished. Literally. From Mi sharp, one semitone higher, Fa sharp. A diminished seventh from La. Okay, in this case, let's do the flipping over technique. A diminished seventh will become an augmented second if flipped over. So La I would write as Sol. Now, an augmented seventh from La to Sol, let's have a look. Minor, major, augmented. So this Sol is flat. So again, a major second would be Sol, La to Sol, minus one semitone, augmented, because I increase the distance between the notes. So flat. Now, if I flip over these two and I write a Sol flat here, I have a diminished seventh. Done. Next one. Oh, that's my favorite. The perfect octave is the same note, just one octave higher. So this is Do, Si, La, Sol, Fa, F. Let's write an F here. This is it. I love octaves. I love them. Now, if they say augmented, we would put a sharp. If they say diminished, we would put a flat. That's it. Perfect, just the same note, an octave higher. I love it, it's so quick. Okay, and with my happiness, we can turn the page together because we finished this chapter relating to intervals. This page is about chords, and we have 3 questions. Each of them is a development of the previous one. So let's go in order. In the first one, we need to identify the cadences of this melody. The possible chords are 1, 2, 4 and 5, because these are the chords of the 3 main cadences. Well, 4. Perfect, imperfect, interrupted and play go. Now the melody notes might form a chord if we put them all together one after another. The chord in root position means that if we are on a piano, we put one finger for each key and then we press one off, on, one on, one off, on, This is the root position. It has this shape on the piano. Not this, not this, not this. It's this. This piece has two sharps in the key signature. It starts on D, it ends on D. I think it's in D major. The last sharp plus one semitone, D major. So, D major. It could have been B minor, you see, and so the chords would be completely different. Okay, let's have a look. First, let's identify the notes Mi, Sol and Si. Are they in order? Yes, I think so. Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si. Okay, so this is the root position and the bottom note is the chord that we are finding. So the distance between Re and Mi is a second, so this is the second degree. After this, I expect a fifth degree, to be honest, because that is the cadence. Anyway, let's see. We have two notes only, La and Do sharp. Okay, what do we do now? We simply try to add a note underneath A, so Do sharp, Si, La, Sol, Fa, and see if it works. If it's Fa, okay, Fa for D is the third degree. We don't have a third degree in the options, so I don't think it's Fa. I think it's a note above. Do sharp, Re, Mi, La, Do, Mi. La for D is the fifth degree. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, fifth degree. And in fact, here it is. An imperfect cadence. Next one, Re e Sol. Re and Sol. Okay, let's see. If we put them in order, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, or Sol, La, Si, Do, Re, I think it's Sol, La, Si, Do, Re, because we have Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. Sol, the distance between Re and Sol is a fourth. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. So this chord is built on the fourth degree of D major. We have La, Do sharp, Mi, and I think we've done it already. It's a fifth. And now 4, 5, 1 is really the perfect cadence. It's an extended perfect cadence. And in fact, we have Re, Fa sharp. And what is missing is La. Okay, Re, Re. First degree. Done. Perfect. Not too bad, wasn't it? Can you guys let me know what you think of this technique of writing the notes, etc.? Because again, this is something that I've created. I was helping one of my students with theory, his theory exams, and I just created this like kind of some months ago, yeah. And it was much clearer for him, so I think it works. Can you let me know, please? Thank you. Let's move on to exercise 2. In question 2, we need to go further, so we need to say, I did it in the first question, but here we need to really tick the box that indicates the cadence included in our piece. We are in F major, so let's identify the chords first. B flat, B flat, Fa and Re. B flat is doubled, so bye-bye. Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. So the order is Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. The bottom note is B flat, and the distance between Fa and B flat is a fourth. Fa, Sol, La, Si. So this is a fourth chord, 4 chord. From 4 we can have a fifth, we can have a 5 chord, or we can have 1 to make a plagal or imperfect cadence. Let's see what we have. Do, Sol, Mi and Do. Do is doubled. Do in order is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. The bottom note is Do, which is the 5th degree of Fa. Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. So this is 5. Now I've written it in the wrong place, I'm sorry. 4/5 is an imperfect cadence. Here it is. Next one. We are in G major and we have Do, Sol. So I think I'm going to write it here. Do, Sol, Mi, Do. Do is doubled and the order is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. Do is the bottom note, and for G major we should just count Sol, La, Si, Do, 4th. So this is 4. Let's see this one. Sol, Sol, Re. Sorry. Re. Oh, again. Let's do that again. Sorry. Sol, Sol, Re, and Si. Sol is doubled. Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. Here it is. G is the bottom note and also the tonic. 4/1 is the plagal cadence. Done. Are you happy? Let's move on. The last question relating to chords is more articulated because we need to identify the chords and state whether they are, in which position they are, whether it's root position or one of the two inversions. If you haven't done it yet, like and share this video, by the way, share it with your friends and tell loads of people about my channel. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. Please get in touch. We are in A major. In fact, we have 3 sharps. A major minus 1 semitone is Sol, and Sol is the last sharp in our key signature. Okay, let's identify the chords. La, 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 Do sharp, and Mi. Now, La have been tripled, but we have La, Do, Mi. So this is the 1st degree. And what do we have at the bottom? Do we have the 1st note, the 2nd, or the 3rd? It's the 1st. So it's 1A, and here it is. Chord B. We have La, 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 another La, Re, and Fa sharp. La has been tripled again. So Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, that's the order. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. Re is the bottom note. And if we calculate the distance between La and Re is La, Si, Do, Re, the 4th degree. Now at the bottom, do we have Re, Fa, or La? We have La and La, La. So this is 4, C. Here it is. Last one, Mi, Mi, La, Do sharp. Mi is doubled, let's put them in order. La, Si, Do sharp, Re, Mi. La is the bottom note and it's also the tonic. Now, what note do we have at the bottom? Do we have La, Do sharp, or Mi? We have Mi. So this is 1 C. Here. Done. I hope this was useful. I really tried to make it as quick as possible. There is no other ways, I think, to make it shorter. But if you find one, let me know. For now, let's move on to the 6th section of this exam. Okay, this section relates to terms, signs and instruments, and I don't have many tips here apart from memorize. So you can try to remember all the terms, but the most stable way for remembering all these terms is to use experience. So every time you play or you listen or you read a paper, a music paper, just look for the details and remember how you play, how you make them, put them into practice. This will really make you remember more easily. Come prima is an Italian expression to say as before. Come, as, like, prima, before. A niente is to nothing. A means to, like towards. Niente means nothing. Nil. Null. To nothing. Lebhaft is a German word for lively. Definitely not dying away, not slow, not light, but actually the other way around. Okay, and this is done, guys. That's not very much to say about these things. You only need to remember them. Exercise 2. Here we need to tick the box that shows the correct name for the 2 ornaments. When an ornament is made of 2 notes that are not fast, that's an appoggiatura. It means appoggiato means not, it means that you lean on something. So da-dum, 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 as opposed to acciaccatura, ta-dum, ta-dum. Appomodant would be more notes and quicker. A turn will be would have this shape with at least 5 notes, and a trill will have many notes. Second one. Oh, this is a trill. This is very long, very quick. Trill. Acciaccatura would have, the acciaccatura would have just 2 notes. Lower mordant would have a lower note first and then up note afterwards, and then it will be shorter. And turn is just 5 notes. So, trill. Exercise 3. In this question, we need to circle true or false for each of the statements. The cello uses the alto clef. No. It's the viola that uses the alto clef. The cello is too low for the alto clef. It uses the bass clef. The clarinet is a double reed instrument. False. It doesn't use a double reed. This is just knowledge, guys. You either play it and you know it, or you know somebody that plays it and they told you that they don't use double reed, or you either remember it because you've learned it through a book. The alto voice, contralto, has a lower range than a mezzo soprano voice, and this is correct. Because in order we have soprano, mezzo soprano, contralto, alto. This is also the order of the clefs, so the 7 clefs in music. Treble, soprano, mezzo soprano, alto, tenor, baritone and bass. Again, go and watch my videos about clefs. They are really useful, really useful. The bass drum produces sounds of indefinite pitch. And of course this is correct. Boom, boom, boom. We can't really tell the pitch. And this kind of frisé here, it means that arpeggio, so the notes should be spread from the bottom to the top, yes. So that is correct. Yes. It's the arpeggiato symbol. That means that we don't play the notes like that, but we play like a harp. But from the bottom to the top. Da, 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 da. That's it. Sorry, I can't say much more. This is all about memorizing. Let's turn the page for the final section of this exam paper. In this section, we have a piece of music that we need to observe and answer a series of questions. The first one is about pitch. And again, we need to compare the bars and tick the only correct statements that is included within these four. The best way to start this question is by comparing the two examples using this memorime. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Middle C in bass clef is here, so this is just one below middle C. Middle C in the alto clef is here, this is one octave higher. Middle C in the tenor clef is here, so this is just one below. So A and C are the same, a B is an octave higher, because instead of being written here is an octave higher. Now we need to compare these bars with the right hand part, bar 5 of the piano part. Let's forget about the time signature. We have this note here. This note is one octave higher than middle C. The original example is the same as B, and A and C are correctly rewritten one octave lower, because this is above middle C, this is below middle C, below middle C. So let's find the statement that says that only A and B are correctly rewritten an octave lower. No, because B is same as the original. Only A and C are correctly rewritten an octave lower. Yes, so this is the right answer. So let's exclude the other ones. Only B is correctly rewritten an octave lower. No, because B is the same pitch. A, B and C are correctly rewritten one octave lower. No, because this is different from the other two. So the right answer is this. Only A and C are correctly rewritten one octave lower. Ah, perfect. Question 2. After observing the music that we have, we must circle true or false for each of these statements. There are 5 notes next to each other that form part of a chromatic scale in the right hand of bar 7. And this is false, because we have only 4, not 5. False. All the notes in bar 1 to 4 of the right hand part can be found in the key of E major. Well, the answer is no, because we have E sharp that doesn't belong to E major, so no. Yes, it is a passage note, we know, or it could be just a momentary modulation, so touching another key. Nevertheless, not all the notes of the right hand part from 1 bar to 4 belong to E major. The music should be played smoothly. Yes, because it says legato, which is the Italian word for smoothly. Legato. The rhythm and notes of bar 5 are the same as those of bar 1. And if we compare these two bars, we have exactly the same notes. True. The widest interval in the right-hand part between two notes next to each other is a perfect fifth. And it isn't. It's false. Because if we observe the right-hand part, the maximum distance is a fourth. And it's in bar 1. Then we have thirds, another fourth in bar 5, then we have just thirds or consecutive notes. So false. Excellent. Question 3. Which instrument would be able to play the right hand part without going out of compass? Well, not double bass, because it's too low. Timpani doesn't even know. Tuba is too low. The only one is the flute. Tuba and double bass are really low, and timpani has just a couple of sounds, no more than that. Well, it can't play really that. We don't use it for so many notes, and it's too low anyway. So, the flute. Question 4, the very last 2 questions of this exam paper. We need to take the number that answers the question. How many times the median, which is the third note, third degree of E major, and it's G sharp, so sharp. The median is a major third apart from the tonic in a major scale. Appear in the right hand piano part. Now, if we count all the G sharps, we find that there are 9, and here they are. And the very final question, number 5. We need to complete the 2 sentences by adding a number. The tight notes in bar 2 are worth an X number of demisemiquavers. In bar 2 we have a crotchet tied to a semiquaver. So each semiquaver has 2 demisemiquavers, okay? So we have 2 here. So we don't even have to write it. We have 2 in a semiquaver. We have 2 demisemiquavers, because the demisemi is the half of the semi. Now we have 4 semiquavers in a crotchet, so we have to do 2 times 4. 2 times 4 equals 8, equals 10. There you go. That's the best way of doing it. We have, in total, we have 5 semiquavers. Each semiquaver is made up of 2 demisemiquavers. So double it, just double the number that we have. There is an instruction to play a note slightly separated in bar 8, yes, because this symbol is like ta-ra. The second one is staccato, nearly staccato. So ta-ra. So just the last note in both hands. And with this we have finished our C sample exam paper included in the second book. We're reaching the end of the second book as well. I hope that my videos have been helpful. Go and watch other ones if you want to be more sure about your answers. Thank you, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye bye! Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was useful. Don't forget to leave a like down there and share it with your friends. If it was useful for you, it will be useful for other people too. Now, if you want more sample papers published by ABRSM, click here and find the video you're looking for. In the meantime, I would like to thank all the ones who are messaging me and leaving comments. You know that I always read them and I always reply. And thanks to all the ones who are telling me that thanks to my videos, they have improved and feel more confident. This makes me so happy. What else to say? Happy music, everyone. Bye.